Rachel and Alicia, and this is Cocktails and Caftans. And I just had to show you the full length of this caftan. It's stod, it's ombre. I mean, it makes me feel like I have a cape or like I'm a Jedi princess or something back here. There are pockets. It's made from recycled parachutes, I think. So it's sustainable. It's all these amazing, amazing things, and I love it. Get you one. We'll be caftan friends. But in this totally fabulous caftan, we are going to talk about penicillins. And I've already made one. I cheated, completely cheated. But it had a lot of steps, and I learned a lot, so I thought I would just talk to you about it. If you don't know, a penicillin is a scotch-based drink. And I actually went through kind of a scotch phase quite a few years ago. In fact, one of my first pictures on Instagram before I started the blog, before I started doing anything, was I had, and I still have it, I don't know why I'm saying I had, but I had this fantastic 1930s gown that had jeweled like faux emeralds and diamonds on the cuff. And I was going to a show, which I miss theater so much, I can't wait till it's back. But I was going to a show. I took myself out beforehand for a drink, and I ordered a penicillin. And I took a picture of, you know, the cuff of the dress and the penicillin saying, oh, you know, my thing is vintage dresses and whiskey drinks. Because at the time I said I was going through like this little bit of a scotch phase. Mad Men was at its peak. I would drink a little scotch, watch Don Draper. It was a good time. But I fell in love with the penicillin because it was scotchy, but it was not like scotch, you know? It was a cocktail that let me enjoy the scotch, and I could sip it all night and feel great. Mainly what it is a penicillin is scotch blended with ginger, honey, lemon juice, and a lot of times it will have a floater of like a real peaty scotch, like an Islay scotch. If you know what that is, basically it's super, super foggy. As my sister will tell you, it kind of tastes like dirt, but mixed in, it's really great. So what you're gonna do is you are going to mix your ginger and your honey and your lemon juice with your like regular scotch. Shake it up, pour it into a glass, and put like if you're doing the floater, some people do a spritz, and of course like you can leave it out. Like I've made one without, and it's fantastic. It's kind of like a hot toddy, but it's not hot. And this is what I have learning how to make this at home. And I'm gonna put the recipe in my stories for you since I didn't make it. First off, they're gonna say honey, or they may use honey syrup. Well, this is the honey I used, and look, I burnt it. Don't do that to your honey. But this is a lemon ginger honey that I just happened to find at the grocery store. It's Madhava. I don't know if that's by you, but instead of like dealing with ginger, although fresh ginger is amazing, I went ahead and bought that. And because honey is hard to mix, like if you just put that into your shaker with ice and your scotch and the lemon juice, it's really not gonna mix up. And you can ask me how I know, and it's because I tried it. The secret is, or what I found worked really well, which is part of why we're not making this cocktail, is adding, and I think it's like an ounce and an ounce of lemon juice. But even if you were gonna add fresh ginger, putting the honey and lemon juice together, mixing that up and heating it up for a little bit, if you're not gonna buy a syrup, which why would you go buy something special? It then allowed it to mix. So you just mix that with your scotch, and you can be done. If you want it, or again, a floater of like a peaty scotch on top, and it makes it really foggy, really dense, and a little goes a long way. So like you need a drop, basically. It's like nice and smoky, and yet it's really bright and flavorful. And honestly, I don't know why I fell in love with this drink, because it made me feel very sophisticated and very like out on the town. This drink, I don't know if it was invented or it became really popular during the 1920s, and as we head back to maybe our own roaring 20s, it's just made me think about it a lot. And so I was really, really excited to learn how to make it by myself. And of course, if you didn't even want to make a real cocktail, adding lemon juice and honey and ginger to your scotch would be a version of the penicillin. I mean, you know, it is what it is. But again, so many options. I will put the recipe in the stories for you. And if I can find where you could buy that honey, if you want to skip a few steps like I did, I will. But no matter what you are drinking tonight or what you are wearing tonight, I hope you're doing well. You may or may not be on spring break. I know that where I am, the kids are, and I don't know how that changes things right now, because you know, we're still in the whole pancetta. But here's to us seeing the light at the end of the tunnel and having fun drinks and making fun drinks and wearing fantastic, sorry, I'm just gonna spend the rest of my day twirling, caftans to our health. This is so good, guys.